Hello everybody, and Jess here, and welcome back to Yuuki Yuuna is a Yuusha, episode 6, in which I don't rightly know. Something's probably gonna happen. Uh, yeah, probably something, right? We still have so many episodes to go, don't we? I don't know, maybe the remainder of the season is just going to be recapping what happened so far. That could be the case. After all, in the previous episode, we basically finished the season, didn't we? Yeah, the previous season was, like, legitimately one big finale. And not even a season finale, I'd say. It was a serious finale worthy, almost, you could say. Because, firstly, we had to, well, the girls had to face the remaining, 7 vertexes? A lot of them, all of the remainder. And those vertexes were also much better coordinated, and they managed to do a little bit of a fake out, right? Grabbing their attention, and meanwhile sending someone fast beyond the enemy line to attack the tree directly. So it was a tough battle, and many of the girls almost fell in battle. I legitimately was concerned that they are dead, like dead, and maybe we're gonna have a feel-good moment when the tree revives them or something. Then everybody besides Karin, if I'm not mistaken, got a second henshin, right? Perfect for a fight in space against the Vertex soul that turned into a planet-sized pyramid that Yuuna, of course, punched into submission, right? That's just a finale. That's basically a finale, right? The final moment of Togo carrying Yuuna into space, and together beating the final boss, then falling to the ground in the flower petals, not beating the Yuri allegations. It's a finale. It was a finale, but we still have, like, 7 more episodes to go? So probably not a finale after all, and we still have more seasons to go. My prediction is thus: in today's episode, we're gonna see mostly slice of life, right? We gotta calm down after an exciting episode like that, and then we're gonna start with another plot line. Doesn't really convey the meaning. What I mean is that we will start with the next plotline, the progression, the logical conclusion, whatever you want to call it, right? The vertexes are dead very quickly, so that means they're probably not the main villain here. Someone's probably behind that, someone else. And perhaps the rest of the season will be our girls trying to find out who that even is. Perhaps the rest of the season will be fighting another enemy, Vertex Supremes or whatever. Maybe the mastermind will reveal themselves. I don't know. Something's gonna happen for sure. Maybe there's more vertexes, right? The Taisha knows that there is 12 of them, but do they know that it's only 12 of them? Maybe there's more. I don't know. Anything can happen, honestly. When an arc in a show like that is just done and finished and completed, at that point, anything goes. So I say we just watch this episode and see what exactly goes. Right? Sounds good? Sounds good. To do that, you will need your subs, of course, to follow along with me. And I'm gonna need my sound to hear what's going on in the show. And I'm gonna have to ask you for support. Support the channel if you want monetarily on Patreon or YouTube down below or not. Share my content, spread the word, costs you nothing, helps a lot. And with that, we can start watching Yuuki Yuuna is a Hero, episode 6 in 3, 2, 1, go. And if you want to watch Yuuki Yuuna early, you can go to my Patreon, because my patrons get it 1 week early. Is it a routine health inspection? Or is it like Taisha specific thing? They're looking for magicules in your blood or whatever. The nurse isn't wearing the Taisha mask, so probably not directly a member of the Taisha. We don't know how secretive the Taisha are exactly, do we? Are they like a normal government body that everybody knows of? And they have the hidden side of this? Or are they essentially a shadow government of Japan? Ah, we'll see. I fully expect the Taisha to not be, like, entirely in the clear here. Mysterious, shadowy organizations very rarely are. Yeah, this really makes me wonder. Nothing so far points to a post-apocalyptic world. And this is like post-apocalyptic, like perfectly post-apocalyptic. Is that what happens to the world if vertexes are not stopped? Ah. A little bit of a Chuni spirit. I mean, that's basically what happens, so you don't need to spin it into a story. Okay. Unforeseen dangers of being a hero, burning your life force to henshin, something along those lines. Only a little. Oh. Vision, speech. Did anybody become hard of hearing perchance? Lost their sense of smell? Ah? Okay. Who can't taste the snacks? Kanpai. Ah? What was that expression, Yuuna? Hmm. 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 are you, though? Yeah, I mean, just download Telegram or whatever. Oh, why would that be? Because of your paralysis? Because of your memory? Yes, she did. Yep, she has COVID. Yeah, it really seems like heroification takes something from them. Question is it permanent or actually just temporary? Or it could be that it's the second henshin that does it. Can't hear anything in your right ear? Yeah. Can't hear anything. Yep. That's exactly what's going on. How are Karin's senses, I wonder? She did not go through the second henshin, so she's going to be our sample. If she also suffers something, then it means it has to do with heroification. If Karin is fine, that means it's the second henshin that's at fault. Something wrong with her perception of time? I mean, how else is she gonna communicate? Yeah? She doesn't know ASL yet. Or JSL in case of Japan, I guess. Where Togo? You have no depth perception, so that's going to be a little bit hard. Right. Oh, right. Togo is at the hospital. I completely forgot. Yeah, that's a perfect pastime. Go to a pool, go to the beach. Hmm. Yeah, I'm starting to worry that it might actually be permanent. Yuuna told you what's the deal with her. You better, tell her as well. She's absolutely researching hearing loss. Okay, so she did reveal it in the end. Mm-hmm. Okay, she's gonna be tracking it then. Wrong ear. Or maybe right ear. Please don't do the... Oh. I thought we were doing the Chotomate and we're never coming back to this talk. No, thankfully not. Probably not would be my bet. Or they are hiding it on purpose because much fewer people would be willing to pay that price. Yeah, the doctor's on the Taisha's payroll. Okay, we're only halfway through the episode. Alright, I really thought we were like nearing the end. Yeah, Karin doesn't seem to be suffering any side effects. Yeah, she hasn't bloomed. Mm-hmm. Survivor's guilt? Yeah, survivor's guilt. I came here boasting to be the best hero ever, yada yada yada, and here I did nothing. Sure, yeah. HTML is still the fun part. Wait until you get to JavaScript and backend languages. Where Karin? Yeah. Has she been like withdrawn from the school by the Taisha? Did you see her during your classes? The apartment is probably empty right now. She's probably been quietly carted off somewhere to whatever Taisha child rearing facility there is. She's worried about you. That's a lot, but probably not all that much for Karin comparatively. You were. You signed the paper. Right. A sword only knows how to fight. What use is a sword when the war is over, right? I mean, depends entirely on how you define a hero. We already had that talk, right? You can still be a hero in the hero club if you just are heroic, you help people, you don't need to fight trans-dimensional monsters necessarily to do that. Exactly. Well, that can change. Update your life goals. Confession by the sunset. Shopping? What do you mean shopping? Snacks? A cake. Sponge cake, probably. And ice cream? Oh, I thought she's carrying a cooler, but I think it's just her school bag. Cream puffs. Yeah, well, not according to Togo's research. That character trait hasn't really been established, but sure, I'll take your word for it. Yeah, time to find another purpose. If you can, and if Taisha allows it, they might have different plans for you. They got a new chat app. Still using the flowers as their avatars. I belong by the warmest place I know. You're no better. Still have a couple of minutes left. Are we gonna see a drop or not? Message from the Taisha. Okay, Karin can stay. That's good. I honestly expected her question to be rejected. They have not found anything, or so they claim. Sure, beach episode. Absolutely, why not? Sure. A little bit of Euro camping never hurt anybody. Yeah, let's camp by a beach. Why not, right? That's a good idea. Now this is episode 13 that you have in a show, right? The finale was there, and this episode just deals with the effects of what happened in the finale. See you next season. That's the exact kind of an episode that it was. With a couple of hooks into the next season, right? Oh, sure, the main plotline, the main story, everything got resolved, we won, yada yada, but oh, there's the mysterious artifact that we found. But oh, someone is opening their eyes and they're yellow and slitted. Who could it be? Or, oh, but my right arm started pulsating with power. What could it be? Right? It's this exact kind of an episode. We really did cover a whole entire season of anime in 6 episodes. Crazy. Crazy. I actually wonder, would we have benefited particularly much if there were more episodes that gave us more characterization for the characters here? Maybe. Okay, so next episode is the idyllic happiness. Holy shit, that's a bad title to have. That's a bad title to have. That idyllic happiness ain't gonna last, is it? Oh boy. Oh boy. Let's watch it again, shall we? Boy, oh boy. Yuyuyu. There we go. Yeah. Yeah, just a routine checkup. Drawing some blood and stuff. Collapse of an overpass, right? Because the vertexes did manage to corrupt some places on at the Divine Tree. I wonder. I had that theory that perhaps the Divine Tree or the Taish or whatever is maybe not necessarily the villain here, but the actual antagonist, right? That maybe the vertexes or the resistance force or whatever, something like that. But I'm not sure, because the destruction of the Divine Tree would bring about the destruction of the immediate vicinity, at least. The Divine Tree doesn't seem to be like worldwide. It seems to be only covering Japan. Actually, a very good question. Because a decently large patch of the Divine Tree got corrupted by the vertexes, and only a single overpass in a single city in Japan collapsed. Sorry for yawning, I have not slept well. Only a single overpass collapsed. If we were to scale the area of the Divine Tree to the area of the world, the area that got corrupted would be more akin to fucking Moldova falling into a sinkhole, right? But it's localized to the city, basically. So I wonder if perhaps the Divine Tree is somehow artificial. It was created as a way to guarantee prosperity to Japan, but at the cost of being tightly tied to Japan, right? Like, without the Divine Tree, a collapse like that might happen, right? An outbreak of flu might happen, stuff like that. A car accident might happen normally. With the Divine Tree, those things do not happen. The Divine Tree protects Japan from anything bad that could happen, but the Divine Tree, if it gets damaged, well, it shows up in the real world. And if the Divine Tree itself gets destroyed, the entirety of Japan just sinks and becomes the next Atlantis. Right? So a price for that. The country becomes much more stable and much more prosperous, but at the price of any sort of damage to the Divine Tree being much more catastrophic than any catastrophe alone could be without the Divine Tree. That's not a bad theory, I'd say. The Divine Tree was artificially made to protect Japan. At the cost of DT being the sole weak point, right? Without the Divine Tree, I know, tsunami comes, and sure, part of Japan coastal area is destroyed, but Japan as a whole still stands. A tsunami of vertexes comes for the Divine Tree, there's Japan no more. Maybe. She got some Chuni spirit in her, some newfound power. I think it's moments like that, and then the later mention that later mentioned by Itsuki that Fuu is a glutton, apparently, that could actually benefit from a little bit of a slower pace and a couple more slice of life episodes, and episodes of basically fighting grunts, right? There are no grunts here. There are no vertex slings or whatever. But I guess that's why many series opt for adding grunt units there, because you can just have an episode that's going to the beach party and grunts just jump out suddenly and our heroes beat the grunts, and it's, you know, something. It's an episode that ties into the story, but at the same time provides plenty of space for characters to grow, right? You have episodes like, I don't know, in Symphogear, Hibiki having to rescue Miku from Flower, right? Stuff like that. That doesn't tie into fighting the big bad boss, but gives characters time and chance to grow at fairly low stakes, because we're just fighting the grunts. We're not fighting the big boss. Meanwhile, Yuuki Yuuna is just a boss raid. It's just boss after boss after boss after 7 bosses. So, whatever character traits there might be, they are fairly clear so far, but whatever secondary, auxiliary, whatever you want to call it, character traits there are, they did not really have the time to bloom. Like Fuu's, I don't know, chuniness. She's not a chuny on the daily. Maybe it's just a new thing, but like you could maybe tie in something like, oh, looking at her family photos and she's wearing an eye patch and dressed in a leather jacket or whatever, and oh, that was my chuny phase. You could imply that, right? You could show her actually being a glutton. We're having a barbecue at the mountaintop, and where did all the scallops go? Oh, Fuu must have eaten them all, and there's a shot to Fuu, super deformed with a comically blown out belly and some juice dripping down her chin, right? Stuff like that. You would have the time to do that. With a boss rush, we did not have the time to do that. Which is not necessarily bad, don't get me wrong. It doesn't detract from my enjoyment here, but it kind of changes the nature of this show. A little bit. I don't know, just some thoughts that I had. Itsuki is mute. Fuu is half blind. Itsuki really pulled a short straw here, didn't she? Itsuki and Yuuna, I guess, but mostly Itsuki. Everybody just partially lost something, right? Fuu lost her one eye. Togo lost her one ear. Yuuna lost her entire sense of taste. Sure, but ultimately taste, compared to other senses, not all that useful. And Itsuki lost her speech. Should they need to fight, she's not going to be able to call out for anybody. She will not be able to scream for help. She will not be able to yell, "There's more coming," right? So she really pulled the shortest straw here. Togo probably got off the easiest, because hearing in one ear, okay, it fucks with your stereoscopic hearing. Sure, you can kind of make up for it by trying to triangulate the sound with just a single ear, but still, right? But still, Fuu will not have depth perception. That's also bad. Yeah, she's gonna be missing a lot of attacks if they fight. Girls have to fight. Crippled, it does not go well. Could it be that's where Sonoko Nogi appears and helps them? That's where Sonoko Nogi appears. Just, to clarify, I only know of this character's existence. I don't know anything else. I just have a list of characters here on my side screen that lists Yuuna Yuuki, Mimori Tougou, Fuu Inubozaki, Itsuki Inubozaki, Kari Miyoshi, Sonoko Nogi, with their portraits, so that if I blank on someone's name, I have a reference there. So I know this character exists. I don't know what's her role even in here, but it would stand to reason that she might appear in the moment of need. I also wonder how will they get over their newfound disabilities. Right? That's a very good question. It could be that they just, I don't know, learn to live with them. Maybe Fuu learns to judge the distance by moving her head and thus gaining a little bit of stereoscopic vision back. Or maybe she will use attacks that are much more AoE, or maybe she will learn to sense mana and will not need her eyes, or something like that, right? Maybe. That could certainly be one way we do that. Another way could be that there is a way to actually fix whatever is wrong with them, fix whatever blooming broke. I wonder what fix could it be. I wonder. Maybe an obvious answer here is that it just works out in the end, right? Basically, whatever next big bad appears, they start fighting that big bad. Everybody gets their colored crystal sphere or whatever. It gets absorbed into their hearts and it fixes them. Right, that's basically the easiest cop out here. I don't think they're gonna go with something like that, though. So I wonder. I really wonder if those disabilities are actually going to be permanent. With how aware of disability this show is, right? All of the accommodations for Togo, for example, at school, it really makes me believe that it might become somewhat of a theme. I wonder. Basically, Katawa Shoujo, but Maho Shoujo. Maybe. It could go two ways, so I'm gonna say the disabilities progress, or the disabilities get healed, or the disabilities can be worked around parenthesis magic vision, etc. I wonder. Phones. Brand new phones from Taisha. Already signed, curiously enough, which would imply that Taisha perhaps knows who got which phone. Their former phones were seized. I wonder if the app perhaps has some information gathered that the Taisha will use. Maybe. I really don't trust Taisha, is my point here. And I really think that those brand new phones they got might have a tracker on them, for example, or some sort of a backdoor or whatever. Taisha might be listening in on their conversation. They might be tracking them on the GPS, stuff like that. Actually, good point. Good theory. Taisha tracks and spies on girls via phones. Yeah, need a new group chat. The fairies are not here anymore. I would assume the fairies are back in the Divine Tree world. Probably. And I also assume that should they return to the Divine Tree world, which is not out of the question if you ask me, the fairies will be back. Maybe, probably, wouldn't surprise me. And yeah, the rest of the episode is basically just discovering that, yeah, we all have been struck with something, with some sort of an affliction. Everybody besides Karin. Oh, the price for blooming is your life force. Basically, blooming is meant to be a last-ditch effort, right? You cannot just fight in your regular form. You give something up in a devil's bargain to gain power. Actually, good point. Devil's bargain. A ritual, right? Oh, take my left eye, but grant me power, oh devil, oh Satan, oh son. Right? Something like that. I wonder. And yeah, thinking of a bill of what they can do, but they can't do much, so they just chill during summer in scalding heat. And Togo is hiding shit. She's hiding the fact that she's tracking their progress, and there ain't no progress. She doesn't want to reveal that to the others. She doesn't want to, you know, whatchamacallit? Fuck, I forgot the word. She doesn't want to worry them, basically. So she'd rather keep it to herself. Yeah, progress of symptoms. Yuuna, taste none. What does it mean, taste none? Fuu, left eye vision. Oh, taste none. She has no taste. That's what it means. Gotcha. Fuu senpai, her left eye was afflicted. In what way? Lack of vision. Yeah, Itsuki lost her voice. Karin, unknown. Nothing. And Togo, left ear. Should be parenthesis, hearing. Just a little bit of a nitpick. Progress of symptoms? There ain't none. That's the problem. I really was afraid we're gonna do the chotomate, we're never getting back to it moment. Right? Chotomate, hold a moment. Hold a moment, I need to do something. She puts down the phone, goes somewhere, forgets about it, or gets kidnapped, or whatever, and we never get to it. There's never, the moment never ends. It's so common, it's so widespread that I really was afraid of it. Thankfully not. Yeah, everyone who bloomed got some sort of an affliction. Even the doctor said so. Do we even have a precedent? That's actually a very good question, isn't it? Do we have a precedent for people blooming? How long has the war with Vertexes been going on for? We know a lot about heroes, we know a lot about their forms, right? The Taisha made a whole entire app to control it. They know about blooming in the first place, that it's a thing. They know how to seal the vertexes, they know all that jazz. But we never really have any reference of I know. There were 20 other heroes before us, and that's how we learned what blooming is, or right, nothing like that. There's no precedent seemingly, and yet Taisha knows a lot, but doesn't know of the negative effects of blooming, which means there's no precedent for blooming, or they're lying. And Karin, of course, training as always, and now we also add Survivor's Guild to it. HTML. Right. HTML, we have the opening tag, we have the closing tag. The opening tag is an attribute. Yeah, HTML is case insensitive, that's right. What's more, HTML is generally non-sensitive, like in general. You forgot to close a tag, whatever, the browser will still take it and will probably spit out something decent. Oh, you forgot quotation marks around the attribute value. It doesn't matter. The browser will take it. It's crazy, man. It's really crazy how weird HTML can be. Or rather, how weird you can make it and it still will work. No improvement, no improvement, no improvement, no improvement. None at all. Now, granted, you can't really easily quantify it, but you can observe it, right? Oh, I used to hear nothing in my left ear. Now I hear buzzing. Now I have tinnitus, but, you know, it's something, at least. Activity report, held a puppet play, assisted the softball club, cleaned up the park, searched for someone willing to adopt a cat. I really thought Karin is no longer there. I really thought she was carted off somewhere. She fulfilled her mission. Taisha takes her somewhere else. And of course, she's training at the beach. And we get the talk again of it doesn't take, you know, fighting interdimensional monsters to be a hero. You can be a hero by rescuing a cat. It'll get better soon. Yeah, sure. See, this moment. Aren't you always hungry? It wasn't established, and I would like for it to be established before. Or if it was established, it wasn't established strongly enough for me to remember. Just saying. My mission has been completed. All the vertexes. I request permission to remain at Sancho Middle School to find a new purpose. Yeah. And we end positively with Karin getting a message. Your request has been approved. Miyoshi Karin, you will remain at Sancho Middle School until graduation. Study well. And it really makes me flip-flop on the Taisha. This tells me that they're the good guys. They're good. They understand the needs of the children. And Karin wants to stay, so they allow her to stay. The war is no more. We've won. They also fully believe that. They will allow Karin to stay and learn here. If she wants to, she's free now, right? And then there are so many moments where I am incredibly suspicious. We're investigating the relationship between blooming and the hero's health issues. However, we have not found any physiological anomalies. We suspect the symptoms to be temporary. This could be true. This could be a blatant lie. Who's to say? Not I. We should line up like 100 bottle rockets. Yeah, so we're going camping and we're going to the beach and we can do both. Fighting as heroes was like a dream and now we've woken back to our normal lives. Well, do I have bad news for you? You still have like 2.5 seasons to go. 3.5, I know. It ain't gonna be easy is what I'm saying. It doesn't end here. As much as it looks like it would end here, it doesn't end here. Especially with a title of the next episode like that. Idyllic happiness. That's a red flag if I've ever seen one. We're getting forestization at the beach, aren't we? We absolutely are getting forestized at the beach. We thought it's over. We get forestized. Shit. There is no hero app. What the fuck do we do without the hero app? Do we use the fairies to transform? Maybe you don't need a hero app to henshin, right? Maybe it's just the Taisha trying to limit you or trying to track your henshins or something like that. There's potential to it. There really is potential to it. I wonder. Boy, do I wonder. Good episode. It was very reminiscent of the one with the karaoke, right? How it was just karaoke, but then at the end we got a hint at something bad happening, and during the runtime of the episode we also got a little bit of hint, something's underlying there, and we're gonna have to discover it sooner or later in a threatening manner, right? Sorry. Except in this episode, it was much more pronounced, much more obvious, much more in your face, right? We are having fun, the war is over, time to celebrate. Wait, why is my ear not working? Yeah, let's get some cake and celebrate with soda, and it's gonna be so fun. I'm gonna buy so many snacks. Why does it taste like water? Right? And everybody tells them, oh, it's temporary. Oh, it's temporary. Why do I not believe it, though? I know why I don't believe it, because they show us Togo conduct proper scientific research, proper study that it ain't getting better. Maybe it will eventually, but so far, it's not. So, it's that, like, I don't want to call it a dissonance, because dissonance is usually has negative connotations. But there's that, like, duality here. On one hand, yeah, fun, cheerful episode, we won, we celebrate. On the other, there's something more going on there, something sinister. We don't quite know yet. It might very well end at them just losing their senses partially. And, well, their abilities in case of Itsuki. Could very well be. It could develop into something more. We could end up with Fuu being completely blind, Mimori being completely deaf. Maybe. I don't know. Interesting thought, actually. Everybody is losing their senses. Itsuki lost her speech, though. It ain't a sense. We have hearing in Togo. We have sight in Fuu. We have taste in Yuuna. And we also have... what other sense there is? Smell. Itsuki could have lost her sense of smell. We have touch. She could have lost her sense of touch. We have basically analgesia. Analgesia? Analgesia, I think that's how you pronounce it, or close enough at least. We have balance. She could have lost her sense of balance, right? There's so many senses, but it's not a sense. I wonder if it's done this way on purpose to not make the viewer obsess over senses, right? To not make it so that when we add some new characters in the future, the speculation will be, oh, there's like 3 more senses left, which one will she lose? But rather, it could be anything. It could be your ability to, I don't know, bend your pinky finger or whatever, right? It could be fucking osteoporosis, as far as we know. Interesting. Very interesting where they're gonna go with it mostly. Because they could go in the direction of just disregarding it and healing the girls. It could go in the direction of them succumbing to those afflictions more and more and more every time they have to bloom, and that's it. Or they could give them a way to work around it, like I mentioned, magical sight, magical hearing, whatever. It stands to reason that with the sort of magic that exists, Mimori, why do I call her Mimori? Togo could very well have magical hearing. She can see the sound waves or something like that, right? We could just discount it that way. I wonder. I wonder and wonder. Yeah, it's going in some very interesting directions. Or it can go in some very interesting directions. And I think I know why they kind of sped it up and compressed a season in just 6 episodes. Because if they didn't, and episode 6 would be episode 12 and the finale of the season, it would be just, you know, normal Maho Shoujo, Mecha Musume, kinda, sorta, not Mecha Musume, that would be more like Symphogear, but you know what I mean, Maho Shoujo kind of show, just a regular, normal show. There are bad guys, there are good guys beat the bad guys down, and there's henshins. But because we've done that earlier, we now have the time to establish something much more special. We now know that, oh yeah, the like usual, common, plain Maho Shoujo stuff is done now. We got that out of the way. Now we can show you what we actually have in store for the last 6 episodes of the season to guarantee that you will watch it. Because watching the second season is not guaranteed. Second season is not guaranteed to exist if first season is deemed to just be, you know, normal, regular, whatever thing. But because it's in the same season, yeah, I think that might be why. Cool. Good stuff. I'm enjoying Yuuki Yuuna very, very much. But right now, I'd say that's gonna be it from me for today. But maybe you guys have something more to add on the topic of this episode, of my reaction, my theories, stuff like that. Say so in the comments down below. No spoilers, please, I beg of you. Spoilers can go to my Discord here, also in the description below. Like this video if you liked it, subscribe to be notified of future videos, not only Yuuki Yuuna, but also plenty other shows like Spice and Wolf, Unnamed Memory, what else is there? Kaito Otome, Blue Archive, Sentai Daishikaku, plenty others coming in the future. Support the channel if you want on Patreon down below, where for $10 a month you get early access to non-seasonal shows like Yuuki Yuuna, and for just $1 you get a role on the Discord and a place in the credits. You can also support me directly on YouTube via membership, super thanks, super chats, and I also stream sometimes, so click the bell to be notified when I go live. And you don't have to spend any money to support me. Actually, you can just share my content, spread the word. It costs you nothing and helps a lot. And with that out of the way, that's gonna be it from me for today. So as always, you guys do all the good stuff, and I'm gonna see you in the next one. Cheers! And here's my one for Patreons: QB, Without a Net, Group Survivor, Watson, Zarene, Yuki Alai, Ishtamu, Dr. Watt, Akamazar, Marsh, Fassel, and Hans Peter. And you can join them without losing your senses.